salad.
Hurry, you're bad. Just to stuff it up that way they seem like